Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video I wanted to share with you another great team option for the Plague Creeper Primal Lord boss if you happen to have these heroes built up. And it's really interesting because the credit goes to Rowan for this team from the AFK Analytica Discord for finding it. But if you can get the two Graveborn buff tiles and have Lily May and Carolina on them in the back, this team managed to get even a higher damage output than the Lightbearer team, which is considered the all-time best team right now. For Dalhoy, who also is from the AFK Analytica Discord, we have two different score comparisons here. This really shows you that this Graveborn team has a lot of potential for damage. He had resonating 531 on his heroes and 541 on the Lily May, not even the plus 20 upgrade of the Tidecall spell, and he got 8.25 billion damage, which is no joke. That's a really high damage output for this Primal Lord boss, and it's really impressive, and it's cool because it's using the Graveborn faction talents, which people did not expect to be a great option. And really, in most game modes right now, the Graveborn faction talents are not too helpful. For example, for AFK stages, even Supreme Arena, they're usually the Wilders are better. But it gives you this other option. So that's just the thing to keep in mind. If you're going to respec your faction talent tree for this team, you're going to be giving up on some of the other powerful factions like Wilders, Maulers, even the Lightbearers. Right now, Lightbearers are really powerful for the Plague Creeper boss as well. But if, for example, you don't have an Elsa highly ascended on your account and you've tried the Lightbearer team comp, because people have tried it with the lower ascension Elsa, but usually the damage output will not be high enough, then this is a good team option for you if you have these heroes built. And I think if you've been playing from day one, looking at the team again, a lot of the wishlist recommendations were to have Carolina and Viperon on it, because Viperon was one of the best A-level options, because there are not many to choose from, and Carolina was important for your Iron crowd control nuke team. So if you have both of these heroes at Supreme Plus, even plus 5 to plus 10 exclusive equipment, then they can be pretty good damage dealer options for you. And Lily May, a lot of people have recruited for her, so a lot of people will have Lily May. Ludovic you may not have, and in which case you would have to replace him for some other Graveborn hero, and I don't know who would be the optimal choice. I think Ludovic is pretty important here, but this just gives you another team option basically. And another thing that we have to talk about is, if we take a look at the Graveborn faction talent tree, why do we think that this is so effective, this team? So there's one effect here on this first skill upgrade we see, that you get the new skill effect recovers HP for the prime carrier when they assist or defeat a non-summon enemy, and permanently increase their attack by 10% and physical and magic defense by 10%. So because the Plague Rots are probably considered summoned enemies, I don't know if this effect is actually triggering or activating. If this is activating on all the Plague Rot, defeating them, then this is a huge reason why this comp is so effective. But from the text, it says that non-summon enemies, so it could very well be that this is not actually triggering. But the other advantage is that the prime carrier gets an increase of the sacrifices stats. So for example, Carolina is on the sacrifice tile of this comp, and she's going to be basically giving her some percentage of her stats to Lily May. It's just a bonus on top of Lily May. It's not actually taking anything away from Carolina. And if we go back to Dalhoy's score, the damage output chart, Lily May dealt the most damage, but Carolina dealt second most, because her AoE damage is good for this boss. Even in the Wildest team that we showed, where Carolina was used, Carolina dealt a good amount of damage because she is just really good for when there are a lot of enemies, because she has a lot of AoE damage. So for this, definitely, probably if you have Supreme plus Carolina and have her at plus maybe even 10 exclusive equipment, I think you can get high damage. And the Viperon didn't even contribute that much damage at all. But he combos well with Ludovic, because Ludovic can always keep him healed up. And he casts his ultimate at the cost of his own health. So if he can keep being healed up, he'll be able to keep casting his ultimate and getting off that damage and not being at a risk of dying. So interesting that really all of the damage came from Carolina and Lily May. And looking at further on the faction talent tree, there's shields for the prime carrier, healing amount, which is not too important, and prime carrier stat increase. I think really it comes down to the fact that both Lily May and Carolina are great damage deal options here, and if you can increase Lily May's stats by up to 18% bonus of whatever Carolina's stats are, that gives you even more power on the Lily May. And of course then you have Rainier in here to increase the damage that the boss will receive, because he'll be the position swapped enemy, and also giving the looking back at the formation, giving the attack buff from his charms onto Carolina and giving the position swap onto Viperon. So Viperon is just in the front. Yeah. So overall, this is a really cool team that you can try and run if you don't have the Lightbearer optimal team. But just to recap, the best Lightbearer team as of right now is going to be the Merrily, Smokey, Elsa, Corin, Rowan with the double buff tiles of Lightbearer. For this team, Elsa kind of needs to be Mythic Plus at +5 exclusive equipment to get your maximum damage score. You can try it before that and see whether you have a decent amount of damage or not. Sinbad can replace Merrily, but overall it seems like with Merrily, the damage potential is the highest for this team. And some people even try replacing Elsa if they don't have her ascended for a Mikola. And I saw one person with the Mikola, mythic level Mikola, getting a pretty high score instead of Elsa, but I think it's a bit dependent on RNG, and yeah, so that is the thing. And if the Mikola is at Supreme Plus, she's not a good option because she won't be casting her ultimate. Like, the problem with the Supreme Plus of Mikola, if we take a look at it, it actually is a hindrance if you're going to be running her in the Lightbearer comp, because in the Lightbearer comp you want as many ultimate casts as possible. But Mikola at her Supreme Plus, the Curse Sphere remains unaffected in duration if her side gains control of the on arena, and she'll have control of the on arena, so she's not going to be able to keep recasting her ultimate because of the fact that she has her Supreme Plus unlocked. So that's just, if you have Supreme Plus Mikola, she cannot fit into that comp. If you have her below Supreme Plus, you can try her there, but I've seen some people getting high scores with it, and some people are getting quite a lot lower scores with it. So it's just another option to try. And other people have mentioned Freesto. Even people are thinking Freesto might be an upgrade instead of Smokey in that team. Like, currently the team we have, maybe replacing Smokey for Freesto into that team could make it even better. People are going to try that tomorrow. So basically there's a lot of more testing that will happen, but this is a great Graveborn team you can try. And definitely, if you haven't already basically tried this team, I think it's worth it to give it a shot and just see what happens. The fact that he got 8.25 billion damage with resonating 531 and only 541 on Lily May and plus 19 Tide Call spell, it shows there's a lot of room for improvement with this team's score. I could think at plus 20 Tide Call spell with good enough RNG, it could get even up to 9 billion. And if you compare it to his Lightbearer team at the same pretty much similar resonating level, other than no hero at 541, it got 6.7 billion damage, but there's the RNG element to it. So anyway guys, again, big thank you to the people at AFK Analytica Discord for sharing these teams, and I'll leave a link to their Discord in the description of this video if you want to check that out. But that is going to be it for this video. I just wanted to update you on this other cool team that you can try, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if there's any update to the optimal teams, like we mentioned, maybe Fresto instead of Smokey for the Lightbearer team, I'll let you guys know and keep you updated about that tomorrow. But anyway guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, everyone, peace out for now.